Hello, my lovely human. Welcome to Little Flower Tarot, your floral oracle. My name is Krista, and for today's reading, we are asking the question, what blessings are knocking at your doorstep? And I'm kind of throwing in, what do you need to do, and how can I help you, or how can the divine help you receive those blessings? Like, is there anything you need to shift or open up to, or just become more receptive? It's just this feeling of how can we let those blessings in? So yeah, the blessings can be literally sitting at your doorstep for years, but you've been unknowingly blocking them because you weren't willing to do the thing necessary to open the door. So we're gonna dig in and see how to, let blessings into your life. So there are little beetles that have been getting in the house. So there's one right there. They're like little ladybugs. They're Asian beetles, and I like to take those as a symbol for abundance and good luck. So we're gonna just take that as a good sign, because I actually did just record a Patreon reading right before this, and not one beetle landed here, but literally right when I started this reading, a beetle just flew down right there and is still just sitting there. And I'm gonna let they stay right there. So instead of flowers today, I have chosen to offer leaves. So it is the fall season right now. It is at the end of October of 2024 when I'm recording this. And I went out and picked a few different leaves for today's reading. I thought I'd just bring in a good vibe for the reading and just more color and more light. And this is the first time I've done anything other than flowers. So this is interesting, but there's still plants and they still hold great symbolism and powerful energies for the reading. So go ahead and pick your group. So group number 1 is the Norway maple. Group number 2 is the Ginkgo biloba. Group number 3 is the sugar maple, and group number 4 is the burning bush. So whichever one is calling you in, go ahead and choose one, and I will see you in the reading. Hello, my lovely human. Welcome to Little Flower Tarot, your floral oracle. My name is Krista, and for today's reading, I'm asking the question, what blessings are knocking at your door, waiting for you at your doorstep, that all you have to do is just open the door, let them in, and fully receive them? My intention for this reading is there's something, like just the knowing that there's something just there for you right here, right now. And it's just this feeling of all you have to do is kind of tap into the energy necessary to open up to receive them. Like, what shifts do we need to make to open up to receive these blessings? What actions do we need to take? You know, like, there are blessings there waiting for you. That's my kind of prompt for this. And so yeah, that's what we're going to do in the reading. We're going to open up to that. And we're also going to do an infinite prayer, guided visualization, and energy healing transmission for this reading. So I'm going to be doing this in the style of the way I do it on my Patreon, which is I am reading cards for each group, and then along the way I'm taking notes as to energies and themes of each group. And with the guided visualization and energy healing transmission, the Reiki transmission, it's going to be based off of these energies that were present in all of these readings. So it's going to pack a punch. It's going to be a little bit longer than my typical infinite prayer sessions would be. I just want to give you a little taste of the structure of things in my Patreon, because my Patreon is awesome. And it is available if you want to check it out. So in my Patreon, I'm doing 2 readings per month, 2 in-depth pick a card readings per month. One is more externally focused, which is what you're manifesting, your life purpose, what you're trying to create in the world. And then one is more internally focused, which is more about your healing journey and your soul's path and how you can shift and align with what's most authentic to you in your soul being. And then with that internally based reading every month, I do an energy healing, a Reiki blessing and guided visualization, just like the one I'll be doing today. So this is just giving you a little taste of how I do it in there. So, alrighty. Anything else? Let's see. No, I think I covered infinite prayer and Patreon. That's what I wanted to talk about. Oh, your little ladybug is moving around. But yeah, so Oh, darn. You know what's funny? I'm going to keep this intro, but you chose group number 1. Wow, I feel like maybe this is just part of the reading. I'm keeping it because I said everything I needed to say and I don't want to record it again. But you chose group number 1, which is the Norway maple. So yeah, that was definitely giving the feeling of like jumping the gun a little bit. So maybe there's something to it. Maybe there's not. Maybe it's just a human thing that just happened. But all right, yes, you chose the Norway maple. And for the Norway maple, it symbolizes strength and resilience and thriving in challenging conditions. It is tappable. You can get syrup from the Norway maple. With the thriving in challenging conditions. Yeah, so it was native to Europe, I believe. Well, Norway, of course, Europe. And it was cultivated and brought over here to the United States. So it is somewhat invasive. It's not native here, but the fact that it thrives here kind of is a testament to how hardy it is. And so with that, that energy is present here in the reading. And do I want to do a channeled? I kind of do. I've never done a channeled message from a leaf before. They're typically flowers, so I'm kind of excited. Yeah, I'm going to do a channeled message from this Norway maple leaf. All right, Norway maple. What do you have to say to group number 1? How can they let blessings into their life? What blessings are knocking at their door? Or maybe you just have something random to say. So let's open up to it. Let's see what she has. I'm seeing train travel, and weirdly, it's making me think of Europe, like train travel through Europe. So if there are any people who are wanting to go to Europe, that's just a confirmation. It doesn't have to be that. That's probably for a few of you, not for all of you, of course. But there is a confirmation of train travel, positivity around traveling in a European type place, where the train travel is very prevalent and very convenient and a more grounded way of travel than flying. So if there was like a question between one or the other, it's like leaning towards the train travel. So yeah, just for a few of you, but let's see what else the Norway maple has to say to you. It's so cliche, but there was a message of home is where the heart is. And just this travel energy is still kind of like wherever you roam, wherever you go, like your home is in your heart. Your home is the love you have around you, the people you have around you. This feeling of being in the right place, like I am where I'm meant to be. That's where home will always be for you. So this could be my group of maybe like nomads or people who are moving and in a transitional moment in their life. But yeah, there's very much finding home in many places, finding home on the move, finding home in many different hearts. Yeah, I love that. So we'll just kind of leave it at that for now, and we'll see what the reading gets into. But, maybe some of the blessings that are waiting at your doorstep involve travel. So that would be really cool. So I pulled an oracle card from the Oracle of the Hidden Worlds, and this will be an overarching theme to your reading. So you got the Dolphin Caller, pure, joyful friendships, loving help. Yeah, that was this is similar to that message of home is found in the many hearts around you. Dolphins are very communal, family-oriented, very sentient beings, and there's this feeling of, the Dolphin Caller. Pure, joyful friendships, loving help. There's this feeling of new friends, new people in your life that are going to be very resonant with your soul, very magnifying of your true authentic nature in your soul. There's a feeling of you calling them in and knowing that they're meant to be in your life, and knowing and feeling and sensing that there are people that you have yet to meet that are going to be family, that are going to feel like family to you. There's also a message of, even if you do feel complete and whole in your friendships and your relationships as they are, there's a feeling of there are people out there that your soul is already in love with that you haven't even met yet. And when you met them, you'll feel like, how did I ever live without this person? I never did, because they were always in my soul. Like this feeling of familiarity, this feeling of family, this feeling of support, uplifting, like a structure, like feeling of finding structure in other people's hearts and the people around you, not necessarily in traditional ways that people would find structure or security. It's you find your security in your loving relationships. Okay, so I'm going to pull some more cards, and I think I'm going to pull some Earth Magic Oracle cards. Let's see what else we get. Fun fact, these are the first Oracle cards I've ever owned. So kind of cool. Like they're just like the OG cards for me. And I think that makes sense. They're really beautiful, and I love nature, and they do feel like family. It feels like home. I don't know. It's just, these are good cards. All right. So you got Rain with Purification and Wolf with Instinct. Okay. Not what I would have expected after the first message. I might pull more from there a little bit later, but, I kind of want more Oracle cards. Hold on a second. Okay, guys. So I might not do this for everyone, but I pulled out these Earth Power Oracle. Since you were getting that message about travel, I kind of want to pull these up. Because if you are wanting to travel, it'd be interesting and crazy if what I pull out of these cards was a place you were interested in. That'd just be like double confirmation, like yes, 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 this blessing is awaiting you. All you have to do is open your heart and your being to it and follow divine guidance and inspiration. And one day you'll find yourself in the midst of living that blessing. So regardless of what it is, that's a little message for you too. Like if you feel something is like resonant to your soul, and like, or like a place, like you really feel called to go to a place, or you really know that something is meant for you, and it like strikes a chord deep in your soul, it's like that, take that as a positive sign. Take that as a yes. All of the elements of the universe and the world and everything wants to come together to like everything is co-conspirating to make that happen for you. But if you don't believe you're worthy of it, or if you don't believe it's possible, all you're going to do is block it. Like you have to be an agent in co-creating that situation for yourself and opening the door to it. So maybe some of you needed to hear that. Like there are things that you know are meant for you that you might be blocking because you just think like, oh, it's impossible. Oh, that's too good to be true. Okay. So the two places I pulled for you, oh, I love that there's a whale here because we have the dolphin collar. Magdalena Bay, Baja. I think that's an island nation. And it says, I birth new concepts and ideas easily. I am full of flowfulness in every part of my life. Grace permeates my being. And then you also got Ajanta Caves. It says, enlightenment is a journey. I show compassion to myself and all living beings. I can be centered within chaos. All my past lives have brought me to this perfect moment of realization and wisdom. Okay, so I'm actually going to look up really quick in the deck, I mean. Where did I put the deck? There it is. Where the Ajanta or Ajanta caves are. Because Baja, I think, is just like in Oceania or something. Like it's like a... Okay, it's the first one in here. The Ajanta Caves or Ajanta Caves are in Maharashtra, India. Earth element. Compassion, past lives, enlightenment, journeying, beauty. Oh my God, I'm so way off with Baja. I thought that was an island. I must be thinking of, what am I thinking of? Oh, it doesn't matter, but I'm embarrassed. Location, California Sur in Mexico. So Baja's in Mexico and it's a bay. Okay. Okay. It's a bay. It's just a bay in Mexico. So we've got water element and earth element, enlightenment, grace, play. Okay. All right. I'm going to go ahead and pull some tarot now. What blessings are awaiting group number 1? And what do they have to do to open to them? Okay, patience is key, my friends. The cards are taking a while to come out, but there's this feeling of patience, slow and steady, wins the race, like rewards after a long journey. Rewards after like strong, slow, steady effort towards them. Oh, I love it. You have the star in the center of the reading, and the star is about dreams come true. It's about your highest ideals. It brings me back to that message I said where if there's something that you know is meant for you and it just feels too good to be true, know that it's not. You are meant for it. And now with divine timing, works in mysterious ways. And so it's one of those things where, let me give you an example. So like 4 or 5 years ago, I marked a bunch of places on my Google Calendar in the United States that I wanted to go to. So I wanted to go to like Santa Fe, New Mexico. I wanted to go to Sedona, Arizona. I wanted to go to Joshua Tree, Mount Shasta. I think those were the main places, like those power centers. And I didn't know when I would go, or I didn't really even plan it. But eventually I planned a trip to New Mexico. I'm like, okay, I'm going to go to New Mexico and we'll see what happens like after that. You know, I didn't know. And I didn't plan this, but I ended up hitting every single one of those spots. And I remember when I almost didn't get to go to Joshua Tree, and then somehow I got to go. And while I was in Joshua Tree, I just remember being like, oh my God, like it all happened. Like the little hearts I made on my Google map, like came true. And I didn't even like have to force it to come true. It just happened that way. And so it was very amazing and beautiful. And that was an amazing trip for me, a very enlightening trip for me. It was like a soul searching kind of thing. And it was like a vision quest almost. And wow, and I got a vision for sure for my life, like of what it's meant to look like. And this is I'm just gonna keep going with this because it's making sense, but in that vision, I was living in abundance and I was feeling free, and like I could like roam the planet as I pleased. I had all the money I needed. Like I was overflowing with abundance. I always had more than enough. I was able to be generous with my abundance. It was this like, and just free to roam for me is like true freedom. It's like, I want freedom of location, you know? And I tapped into all of that, like how worthy I am of living a life like that. And so I was like dreaming as big as possible and feeling it all resonate and knowing I was meant for it. And so, you know, when I ended up coming home and I kind of had to go through, like in the past couple of years, I've had to really process a lot of heavier things around like scarcity mindset, around, well, even just childhood stuff. Like I've had to process so much, and I know it's all just getting me into alignment with that higher vision I saw, with what I'm really worthy of, like this abundance, this freedom, this love. And, you know, I know that's where I'm headed, but there have been times when I have been doubtful, and I have been, well, maybe I'm not meant to live in that way that I kind of saw in my vision, or maybe I'm not meant to, like, I don't know. I just kind of doubted like the logistics of it. And, yeah, like I get myself in those little ruts because you don't see the proof of it yet. Because sometimes it takes a while to manifest your visions. Like visioning something's one thing, but like bringing that vision down to earth, like into your body and onto the earth, is a whole nother thing completely. Like opening up your capacity to receive love at the depths you want to receive it, to feel connected to your community in the way that you want to feel connected, to feel abundant and to receive, like allow like money in, or allow resources in a more profound way, and to like open up to your worthiness of that. That's a whole nother story. So there could be like a nugget of wisdom in there for you, but I almost want to tell myself this, even in this reading, like the same message, like what are the things that you know are resonant with your soul that you're meant for, that you have been telling yourself, well, maybe that's not meant to be, but these other things are, that kind of thing. Like, no, like the star is it turning out better than you could ever hope for or dream of or expect. You get to have it all. So what is it that you've been, putting on the back burner or telling yourself you don't get to have? Because you do get to have it. Like that is such a strong message coming in for you. Okay, 8 of Cups. We've got 8 of Cups is about walking away. So there might be something you're moving away from, like this journeying energy is very prevalent here, like moving from one place to another, moving into a new environment, traveling, like whatever resonates with you. But walking away from energies that aren't supporting this, like your vision, your dream. Okay. 3 of Swords. Aw, yeah, I'm curious. And the Devil. Okay. All right. Okay, so, I would venture to guess that with all this travel energy, whether it's like something if you want to travel or not, a sense of like freedom, a sense of being free in your being to go where you please, to do as you wish, feeling unencumbered by the world around you, feeling like you're free to be yourself, you're free to explore the world in the way you want to explore it, like explore your talents, explore your gifts, explore your life, explore new hobbies, explore new places, new people, like new things, like exploration and freedom within your being is a blessing that is literally waiting at your doorstep. And maybe you've let some of it in, maybe you've let it in a little, but there's this deepening into it that wants to happen in this reading, which I'm going to note for the infinite prayer session really quick. So I wrote a deepening into inner and outer sense of exploration and freedom and sovereignty. So just this freedom to be you in whatever that looks like in your life, in whatever color or form that comes in. That is a blessing that's waiting for you. I'm going to encourage that, and I'll probably put this in the title, but pick more than one of these readings, because each one's going to have different blessings. And I'm sure people who are resonant with this reading are going to have multiple blessings waiting at their doorstep. So for this one, again, let's just touch on that. There might be a couple more in this reading, but we'll see. But the freedom element is coming through so strongly. And the dreams, the highest, most outrageous dream of your life that you can think of. The biggest ones, like for your life. Like, and again, we were talking about divine timing and how that works. Oh yes, that's what I was talking about earlier. Like I had no idea when all of these things would come together and like when I would end up going to those places, but it just happened and it was just natural and it was the right timing and everything played forward. And there was so much purpose to that trip that I didn't even know I needed. Same with, I wanted to go to Hawaii, and that had been on my mind for years, and I finally got to go to Hawaii. And while my Hawaii trip felt like running into a brick wall type of awakening for myself, where I ended up smack back dab where I started and starting from scratch, and it really kind of sucked. I really learned a lot, and I'd love to go back to Hawaii eventually, but that came true in a way, in an unexpected way. So yeah, I think just everything's under divine timing, and there's no reason to rule something out, because even if it takes years for it to come to fruition, it's still meant for you. So allowing yourself to have that breath and that freedom, and knowing like one day I'll get there and it will be the right timing, and I'll be able to embrace it for what it is. Like I'll be able to embrace the love of it. So, and not try to force things into reality, or force things into reality from running from them, really, because that's what I did with Hawaii. I felt like I was like trying to escape something. And so that's why I went. And then it was like not the right energy. Whereas I think I could have been destined, and maybe still am destined, to go to Hawaii at a time where everything lines up and I'm meant to be there in a way that the energy of the space is more nurturing and loving and gentle, as opposed to like, I mean, that place will wake you up. So, but yeah, so sorry, I feel like I'm talking about myself a lot in this reading. Maybe this is for me too, but this is like the most I've ever talked about myself in a reading. But okay, so with the walking away energy here, and the Three of Swords and the Devil right next to it, like those are, all three of those cards are very heavier, kind of darker energies. The Three of Swords is about processing emotional pain, and the Devil is about negative self-talk. So, okay. So, for some of the blessings that want to come through to you, some of the ones I've mentioned in this reading, there might be some shadow work that is necessary on the journey to getting there. Again, another example from my life is coming through how I mentioned coming to the vision, right? Awakening to the vision that you see for your life and what you're worthy of, a deep knowing of what you're worthy of. And then once you've awakened to that, everything that stands in the way, that is encoded in your being, any bit of wounding, ancestral karma, like negative belief structures that you've kind of received in from societal expectations, societal pressure, negative beliefs about yourself, about your ability to help co-create this vision that you see, your higher dreams, your worthiness of them. It's this feeling of everything that gets in the way of you embodying that reality and your biggest vision for yourself being confronted, being processed, and being released. So for this group, I'm really getting like this bigger vision kind of thing, like a overall grand scheme kind of thing. And it's this feeling of, I am going on this journey and I am going to believe in my vision and believe, like, this is really beautiful, this card. It looks like she's ready to walk away. It's like she has all of her spirit guides and all of her angels around her. And she sees the vision ahead of her and she realizes, okay, I have a journey ahead of me to get to that point. There are stepping stones to get there, but sometimes I might have to jump in and swim. Like it might be a journey, but it's this feeling of, I am determined to get there. I'm not going to let go of the vision that was given to me, that was dropped into my heart and into my soul. I know it's my destiny. I know I'm resonant. So whatever it takes to get there, I will do that. And there's a trusting of divine timing. There's a trusting in divine law. There's a trusting in yourself to co-create this reality in a way where when you attain it, it is stable, secure, grounded, rooted. Like when you attain it, you are in a mental and emotional and spiritual state of being where you are secure and stable and open to receive these beautiful things, available to receive, like emotionally available to receive. So that could even be a relationship. Like you have to be healed, which I don't necessarily believe you have to be fully, wholly, 100% healed before you get in a relationship or anything. But maybe there are worthiness issues that you need to heal and resolve before you meet that right person, before you let that right person in. Maybe because before you wouldn't have it would have went over your head, or you wouldn't have recognized them when you saw them, having access to parts of yourself that are more in a resonance with this true soul desire and these dreams that have been placed in your heart. So there's just, like this is your journey. And I'm really seeing it like as this scaled out kind of version So it doesn't feel like you could be at any part of the journey right now. So you could be at the part where you're visioning and where like you're being awakened to, and this could be a message of, okay, now hold this dear, hold this message dear in your heart, hold this vision dear. Know that this is meant for you, whatever you're coming to right now. But also know that divine timing is a mystery sometimes, and trust in divine timing, because sometimes when we look around us and we see that things aren't exactly how we want them to be, you know, we end up creating resistance that slows down divine timing. Like, so it's just more like of trust in the knowing that this is meant for you, and going along the journey it takes to get there, and being willing to do that, and knowing that even if it feels like you're going backwards, to go forwards, like that's okay, that's normal, that's a part of the process. So if that's the part of the process you're in right now, like there's a message here of, that's all right. It's okay if it feels like you're going backwards right now, because you're not going backwards. You're actually healing a part of you that needs to be healed before you can move forward and fully receive and fully embody and fully experience the blessings that want to come to you. And then in the future, there's this feeling of, you're there, you know, like you're free, like you're in the freedom, you're in the new relationships, you're in the sovereignty, you're in that like beautiful, stable place that you knew was available to you all along, and that you worked so hard to get to, and you walked through hell to get through, you know. It's like this feeling of, you confronted the darkness in you, you confronted all the like parts of you that said you can't have it, or that told you you were less than, or that you were unworthy. You confronted the parts of you that felt unlovable. So now you're able to welcome love in, and welcome community in, welcome new people in. Like there's this feeling of, I have risen above, and I feel stronger and more stable than I've ever felt in my entire life, because of what I confronted. So yeah, I want to pull some tarot from the Wild Unknown. Whew. Oop, okay. This one's like got a life to it. Father of Swords or King of Swords. Okay. Temperance. Son of Cups. Father of Wands, King of Wands. Some strong masculine energy here. Oh, Ten of Cups. See, it's like complete fulfillment, like complete emotional, spiritual, relational fulfillment, fulfillment in your life in general. Like that's available to you, and that is why you have to walk through this journey. You know, that is why you have to go and face the parts of yourself that get in the way of it. One more. Ace of Cups, of course. So a new emotional reality, a new emotional connection to those and the environment around you, a new emotional, like an overflowing love that pours out of you and into the world around you, an open heart to receive the love that wants to come in, a receptiveness to the world around you, a connection to humanity, a connection to like the beauty and color and life of humanity and different cultures of humanity. Like if you resonate with the travel message, like there is this feeling of just feeling more connected to the world in that way, and connected to people, and opening, and like more receptive to like the loves of your life coming in, and multiple loves of your life. Like, yeah, like, and even family, like maybe you want a family, and that's part of it, you know. And yeah, so okay, this card wants to come out too. Yes, exactly. Like Four of Wands. Come on. You know, like happy home, celebration. Like it could represent marriage. It's just that feeling of home. No matter where you go, you're at home, because you're at home within yourself, and because you're open and receptive to the love that wants to pour into you from the world around you and from the people around you, and these beautiful souls that want to come in. There's a really strong masculine energy present here. We've got the Son of Cups. The Son of Cups is the Knight of Cups, which is really okay. So for those of you who are opening up to receive a romantic partner or deepen into a romantic relationship, the energy is very favorable for that. There is this feeling of like this relationship with the Temperance card is going to be very healing for the both of you. And it is presenting as a masculine energy, no matter what the gender may be. So more structured, a more protective, and then we've got the Swords and Wands, which we've got air element and fire element. So air sign, fire sign, but it's more like a feeling of, these little beetles are, yeah. But yeah, so just that opportunity for romance is here, very prevalent right now. I mean, this entire reading, these cards that I pulled from the Wild Unknown, could literally be so read as a relationship reading, like 10 of Cups, Ace of Cups, Knight of Cups, like 4 of Wands. Like, this is about your relationships, feeling at home in your relationships, feeling loved, honored, and seen for who you are. And this could resonate with friendships, a community, or a partnership. However, just open up. These blessings want to come into you, multiple blessings of relationships and love and feeling receptive and feeling connected and feeling like seen, honored, like known, understood. Like, that wants to be, it's literally waiting at your doorstep, waiting for you to open the door. So again, whatever you have to process to get there, just know it's worth it. Know that this is what is waiting for you, period. It's your divine birthright. Know that's yours. Deepen into that. Know that it is 100% already yours. And how it comes to be in the physical world is up to the divine and up to the footsteps that you take towards it. So don't let go of that. Don't let go of the knowing that you're meant for this. You're meant for a happy home, a family, if that's what you want, or even family in the sense, whatever family means to you, even if that's like animals and like community and friends. This feeling of I'm at home, I'm where I'm meant to be, around who I'm meant to be around, and I feel so seen, and yeah, it's just uplifted, like supported in all that you want to be and do in the world. Yeah, so powerful, so powerful. So open up to that, the freedom and the people and the love, and it's definitely meant for you. So, okay, I think that is your reading, group number 1. Thank you so much for being here. I really love channeling this message for you. So definitely check out the link below for the Infinite Prayer Session if you'd like to be a part of that to help deepen into the reception of these blessings that await you. But otherwise, if this resonated for you, you can comment down below, and I'd love to hear about how it resonates for you. And I'd love for you to comment, just to claim, like write down what you want to claim. What blessings do you want to claim? And just deepen into that. And like, I will help deepen in, like I will read through them and help bring in the energy to deepen into those as well. So yeah, comment down below if you want. Otherwise, if you want to like or subscribe to my channel, that's really supportive for me. You can also leave me a tip / buy me a coffee. Again, you can check out my Patreon account. If you do the Infinite Prayer Session for this, you'll kind of know a little bit of what's being offered in there. So I also have merchandise. It is this beautiful bee and flowers logo that I had made from a lovely artist in Ukraine. There's a link down below to her Instagram if you want to check her out. But yeah, so the merchandise has the phrase "Hello, lovely human" and this logo on it. So there are mugs, sweatshirts, tote bags, stuff like that. So yeah, and I try to keep the price as reasonable as possible, just because it's just a fun little thing I do on the side, and it's just, yeah, it was just more of a fun thing. But then also, if you're interested in a private reading with me, sometimes I have slots open, sometimes I don't. So you can check out the link down below if you want to see if I have anything open right now. Otherwise, I have another YouTube channel called Soul Harken. It is my heart and soul in video form. It's more artistic, more expressive. It's just something I'm really passionate about. And if you want to check that out, there's a link down below for that as well. But otherwise, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate your presence. I am honored to channel these messages for you, and I hope to see you again in another reading. Bye. Hello, lovely human. Welcome to Little Flower Tarot, your floral oracle. My name is Krista, and you chose group number 2 of the What Blessings Await You at Your Doorstep, and what do you have to do to open up to receive them reading here on YouTube. So you chose the Ginkgo biloba leaf. And the Ginkgo biloba is actually, I think it's the most ancient tree species on planet Earth. So I wrote it down. Let's see. So yeah, with the Ginkgo biloba, they call it like a living fossil because it's 200 million years old. The oldest surviving tree species on the planet. It represents, of course, longevity. It's a strong symbol in Japan. And then use of the Ginkgo biloba has a lot to do with like the higher energy centers. So like, I know it had a lot to do with like healing like the brain or the cognitive function. It said something about like healing tinnitus, like these higher like throat and up kind of energy centers is what the Ginkgo biloba focuses on. So I just wanted to mention that. And then I also want to channel a message from the Ginkgo biloba. So let's see what he has to say to you, group number 2. What blessings are awaiting group number 2? Oh, and I forgot to mention, we're going to do an infinite prayer session for today's reading. So the infinite prayer is a guided visualization and Reiki transmission that is correlated to the readings and the energies that came up within the reading. And the way in which I'm doing today's infinite prayer is going to be similar to how I do it on my Patreon account. So on my Patreon account, what I do is I go through the readings, and as I'm going through the readings, I will take notes as to what energies want to be transmitted in the infinite prayer session. And at the end, we do the session and it incorporates all of the energies of the reading. So it packs a punch. It's a little bit longer than my typical infinite prayer sessions. And I just wanted to give you a little taste of what was on the Patreon, because if you are interested in the Patreon, it is up and it is going. I started it in September. So we're almost completely through the October readings. And for each month, I am offering 2 in-depth pick a card tarot readings, one that's externally based, which is more focused on what you're creating in the world, your purpose, your life's mission, your creative works, what you're building basically in the physical, more connected to the material. And then the internal reading is more about your soul's journey, your soul's path, your healing journey, stuff like that. And then the infinite prayer session every month that I do in there is correlated with that internal reading. So if you're interested in that and being supported by me on a monthly basis, there's a link down below to my Patreon. But let's go ahead and get back into your reading. So we're doing a channel message from your Ginkgo biloba leaf. And if you're new to my channel, typically I do flowers, but we're in the fall season where I'm from right now, and the leaves are just too pretty to not incorporate them into the readings. So this is the first time I've done anything other than a flower, so I'm excited. But yeah, okay, Ginkgo biloba, what do you have to say to group number 2? So this is the 3rd time, and I just remember this distinctly, that this is the 3rd time this has happened. But the first phrase that's come through, and this is in like random other readings and random other channel messages from flowers, but love, 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 love. Like that is just what wanted to come through, and I almost blocked it because I was like, this has come through twice before. But it was like, no, say it. This is what I want to say. So Ginkgo biloba is saying love, 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 love. Bring love into the equation. Bring love into your iciness. Bring love into your coldness. Not that you're cold, but you know what I mean. Like any place where you have closed your heart down, bring love into it, bring compassion into it. Know that you're safe to love. Know that your boundaries are strong. Know that love has a life of its own. And if love wants to be expressed through your heart and into the heart of another, let it be expressed, and just trust that you're not risking anything by sharing love. Trust that you are safe in opening your heart and being loving and casting love onto another's being and into another's heart and uplifting them in that way, even if they quote don't deserve it. Even if someone's hurt you, even if someone's done you wrong. And you know, be discerning on this, because some people really don't deserve your energy at all. But this is a feeling of, if there's someone who could use your love, or even just energetically, there's this message of, it's okay to cast love onto someone and stay in your boundaries, if that makes you feel better, you know, because sometimes you can't help who you love or how you love, but you can still honor your boundaries and still cast love on someone, you know. So there is that balance that's available to you. So, okay, cool. Interesting message. All right. So I do want to say, again, we have a little beetle, but it's like a little ladybug beetle guy over here that keeps coming in and out on the reading, like did for the group number 1, and they're representative of good luck, abundance, like blessings. So I really like that they've been present here, because it is just fall and I have my window open and they're somehow getting in, and it is what it is. But yeah, so just wanted to mention that, if ladybugs have symbolism to you. But we're going to go ahead and get into your reading. So I pulled an oracle card from the Oracle of the Hidden Worlds, and this is going to be an overarching theme for you. And you got number 35 with the pathway, direction, purpose, change. This is giving me like a sense of relief, you know? It's like this feeling of that part of my journey, like she's over the bridge and she's ready to ascend to this new height. And it's like, okay, I'm over the bridge, I'm over the hump, and now I know I have a journey up this hill, but I know it's going to be worth it. So it's giving me like 9 of Wands energy, like one last push. Like we've gotten this far. All we have to do is one last push, and this beautiful like blessing, this starlight up here awaits us, and it's going to be worth it. And with all this water rushing right here, it's giving this feeling of like cleansing and purification. Like all that you're leaving behind is being cleansed, purified, released, and what stands is your love, is your like the purpose within it, the lessons, the resilience, the fortification of your soul, the courage. Everything still remains that is true to who you are, and that is resonant with your path moving forward, and everything else is being washed away and cleansed and purified. And again, it's similar to that message with it's okay to cast love on it, but still as you walk away, you know, it's that kind of feeling like walking away from your past, while still loving, sending love that way. I love that. That's beautiful. Awesome. Okay, so a new journey, new life, like newness is one of the blessings that await you. Fresh energy, life-giving energy, new color, a new experience of your life, a new expression of who you are, like a shedding of old identities that weren't really you, and a more embodying more of a authentic you, and having the freedom to do that. Okay, so I'm going to pull some earth magic oracles and see what else we can get. What blessings await group number 2? And how can they open up to receive them? All right, so you got ocean with ebb and flow. Meadow with vulnerability. That checks out with that message of it's okay to be vulnerable and love, because your boundaries are fortified. And vision quest and dance with celebration. So what I'm getting for this is this new journey. Like I imagine someone like walking away from an old place, way of being, relationship, whatever it may be. But this new journey being like the next step being this exploration of soul. Like, okay, now that I've shed this old part of me, or now that I've walked away from this place, people, thing, etc., now that I've let go of this old way of being, it's this feeling of I can be anyone, I can do anything, and I'm free to just breathe, I'm free to just be myself, I'm free to let the true me emerge. Like energies that once kind of thwarted me or held me down are no longer there, and now I'm just free to be sovereign and free to be exactly who I am. And I'm getting to know myself on a deeper level than I ever have before. It's that kind of feeling like I didn't even know that I could be this way, or I didn't even know that I felt this way. I didn't even know that I could feel this free. I didn't know I could feel this happy or this connected. You know, it's this new way of being that wants to emerge through you, and it's beautiful, and it's purely you. And yeah, that's one of the blessings that await you. with the dance and celebration over here, it feels like there's going to be something to celebrate in your life. A victory, an achievement, something that you've been working towards, that it's just like this feeling of I've come a long way, and this moment in my life is worthy of celebration. And there is an encouragement here to celebrate, like more often. Celebrate little wins, but also celebrate, like find the things worth celebrating in your life. But then also there is something beautiful and big that's going to be celebrated for you, around you, surrounding, like you're going to be celebrated soon. That's a blessing as well. Yeah, beautiful. I'm still not sure about the ebb and flow here. The vision quest was kind of like that feeling of getting to know yourself better in new ways, but the ebb and flow, what is that? I don't know, maybe we'll get to it. But let's go ahead and get into the tarot. There's such a calm coming through. It's almost like I want to speak more quietly within the reading. It's like it's like I can breathe. I can finally hear my soul's voice. Like everything has suddenly quietened, and I can feel and know my true nature more than I ever have before. It feels like a relief. Okay, what do we have here? Oh, we have the Chariot. That is a card about determination, and we were speaking of determination, that last push to get to this next phase of your life. And then we've got the Two of Earth, or the Two of Pentacles. Yeah, with that feeling of that last push, or moving from one phase to the next, and like walking away from something that maybe makes it a little harder to move forward in a way. Like when you get to the top of this hill, right? And you're in this new light, certain, like, it's kind of like a feeling of, like if you are, and this is, I feel like I just listened to a Keynote Tarot reading. I think it was on her Patreon, but she said something similar, and it was this feeling of like a stepping stone that is a means to an end that you're like happy to release. It's like, I'm grateful that I was here, but it was never fully like supporting me in the way that I needed to be supported. The energies weren't necessarily resonant fully for where I want to go, but it was a stepping stone. It was like kind of like putting up with something temporarily until you get to the next phase. And so the Two of Pentacles kind of gives me that vibe. It's like juggling two different things. It's like I'm working on walking towards this new light that's ahead of me, this new goal, this new achievement, or this new way of being, whatever it is that resonates with you. But there's this feeling of, but I'm also having to do this other thing that takes up time, that takes up energy, that isn't necessarily negative. I'm grateful it's there. I'm grateful that it's ushering me through to the next phase, but it's not the thing that I want to do. And so there is this feeling of leaving that behind and moving forward and being more freed up to be in your soul's calling, to be in your flow, to be more expressive of who you truly are. Like there is that sense of freedom coming. Yeah. And the Two of Cups, I love that. So relationships. So this could be like soulmate relationships that want to come in. That was very much what group number 1 was about. But also this feeling, I kind of, with especially the 2 twos here, like, I don't know, like a sense of inner unity as well, or a sense of, and if we like incorporate the Two of Cups with that Two of Earth, that Two of Pentacles energy I just spoke of like the thing that you are in relationship with right now that eventually will be released, that is the stepping stone, like having a more loving and harmonious relationship with that, like feels like a blessing, like one of those just little blessings that want to come in as well. But there might be something about, like partnership as well, but we'll get into that. It more so felt connected to kind of what I just said, but 10 of Wands. Yes. Finality, releasing of a burden. 7 of Swords. Okay. 7 of Air, 7 of Swords. Queen of Cups. Okay. So I'm going to keep this little simple reading here for now and see what we get. Okay, So, okay. So the blessings that await you are, so I was getting this, like, it was like I felt like I was on a trajectory, and then all of a sudden I felt kind of lost. And I felt like, oh, where are we going? Like, you know, and then I kept reading this. It says 35, the pathway, direction, purpose, and change. So like change purpose, change direction. Like there might be an internal shift that ends up being a blessing that wants to come in your life. This feeling of like a new perspective on a goal or on something that you're trying to achieve, like a new way of going about it, or a new way of looking at it, and a releasing of it, a detachment of it, and of a trusting that everything is meant to work out the way it's meant to work out. And like a more, there almost feels like this more pulling back from the goal and being more focused on the path and the footsteps, like being more focused on, like the journey to get there, and like the moments to get there, and taking into account the fact that you deserve to feel that your path is doable and pleasure filled and easeful and flowing as much as it can be within current circumstances. There is kind of this feeling of feeling overwhelmed or feeling a little bit burdened by circumstances. Like again, with the Two of Pentacles, there's a lot going on, trying to balance everything and also still feel kind of like grounded within all of it. There is that feeling. And so there is just like this shift that wants to happen internally, and like a trust of the footsteps, like a trust of your instincts, a trust in knowing that when the time is right, you'll get everything you need to get done efficiently and succinctly. Like everything that, it's kind of like this feeling of like walking through life burdensome because you know you have so much to do, and it's finally just being like, I am not living that way anymore. Like, yes, I still have so much to do. That's not going away, but I'm not going to carry the burden of everything I'm supposed to do all the time. I'm going to trust in my natural energy flows, that whenever the time comes, out of necessity and out of purpose and out of desire, I will get these things done. But if I wake up and I intended to get something done, and my body is resisting it, or my mind is resisting it, and I feel exhausted, and like everything in me tells me to take a bath, or everything in me tells me to go hiking, or everything in me tells me to just go splurge and shopping. You know what I mean? Like, and it feels like a holy desire, and a whole, like your body and being are telling you like, I can't do that right now. I need to go do this other thing. And it's like being able to trust your instincts in that moment, and knowing, you know what, I'm going to trust my body's wisdom right now. I'm going to go do that thing. And then like, for instance, suddenly the next day you have like a ton of energy. So like maybe the thing you thought you needed to do was like work out, or like take care of your body, or cook, like go grocery shopping and make sure you have healthy food for the week, or something like that. And it like ends up being the thing that gives you tons of energy the next day, where you could get like 3 things done in one day that you normally would have to space out through the week. It's like that kind of thing, like listening to your instincts, listening to your body, listening to, and that's where the ebb and flow comes in with this ocean, like trusting in the ebb and flow of life and your energy levels and your body, and like knowing that everything will get done in its right timing, and not everything has to be so serious and so pressury. And if a couple things go by the wayside and aren't done perfectly, it's okay. It's just like a lightening up that wants to happen, like being more emotionally balanced, being more emotionally nurturing of yourself. So like still stay determined. Like everything can get done still. It really feels like everything is meant to be done, but there's an effortless, more easeful path available to you. And that's one of the blessings that want to come in as well. So is there anything like, I'm going to write down group number 2. Let's see. I want to make sure I get this is kind of what I do, like in the Patreon. I'll do the readings and I'll write down the energies that want to come through in the infinite prayer session. And so for you, there's this feeling of flow and lifting of burdens, trusting in instincts, and ebb and flow of energy levels. Everything will get done. In divine timing. Yeah, so it is that feeling of like, I think divine timing has a lot, it's like a strong connection to nature. And if you're connected to your body, you're also connected to nature. And like divine timing works more in a way that's similar to how nature works, like in seasons and in flow and like that kind of thing. And so when you just checked into divine timing, you're not really worried about that like masculine structured timing of things. Like in 3 years, I must do this, you know, it's more like, or by age 39 or by age 40, I better be here. It's like, that's not how we roll. In fact, I feel like when we live that way, we're putting like so much pressure on ourselves. It puts stress on ourselves. It puts resistance on our path, and it slows us down ultimately. And it makes us have like a suckier time at life. So is this feeling of like just going with the ebbs and flows of things and trusting that this life is not meant to be perfect and is not meant to be structured in like necessarily structured in any societally pressured way. Your life is yours, and it's your journey, and you're the one that has to live it. And so like there's a way for this to feel more easeful and more light. And again, that's the blessing that wants to come through for you. So we will get into, in the infinite prayer, we will tap into that flow and that energy necessary for you to trust in your path, and trust in your footsteps and your instincts, and trust in yourself overall, because you've gotten yourself this far and you're going to get yourself the rest of the way. 100% you will. It's just that sometimes you need to let go of it all and just be free and breathe, because the destination's not the point. But when you get there, it's going to be awesome nonetheless. So I'm going to pull a few more tarot cards from the Wild Unknown Tarot, and then we'll get into the infinite prayer session. Okay. Ooh, Seven of Wands. Okay, so we have the the Seven of Swords and the Seven of Wands next to each other over here. There's a feeling of protecting your peace, defending your defending your right to live a lifestyle of ease. Like, yeah, there's like and if there's anything that's encroaching upon it, and it's like that instinctual nature almost coming through. I'm getting this feeling of you will have alarm bells inside of you that feel really uncomfortable when you're starting to allow the pressures of life to burden you, and when you're starting to go against your internal like clock and like your instincts and your flow, right? You'll have this like internal resistance. You'll have like a fiery energy, like a anger or resistance or resentment that's like, I don't want to do this. That's like your alarm bell. That's like, hey, like we're uncomfortable. 111 when I looked at the timer just now. We're uncomfortable. The little bug got on there. Okay. But yeah, it was like a little alarm bell, like, hey, like wake up, like ding, 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 like look at yourself, like take a break, go take a breather. Like if you feel this uncomfortable, don't force yourself to do something. It's just going to cause resentment, and it's going to make you resent your path, which it looks like your path is really beautiful and purposeful and you're headed towards something amazing. So we don't want to go down that route. So it is just this protecting of your peace and listening to those alarm bells inside and taking a break when you need to, and putting things down, putting a pin in things temporarily until It's time. Yeah, Five of Swords. It does feel like when you start to get that, like those harsher energies, resentment is really coming through. That's a sign. If you're feeling resentful for the work you're doing, when normally in other times it would feel joyful or good, like that's a sign to take a break. Like, listen to that. Okay. And then at the bottom of the deck, we have the Queen of Swords, or the Mother of Swords, which is about putting boundaries around things. It's about being protective of your mental health. It's about being protective of your boundaries, ultimately, like protecting. I mean, this is just such a strong little final message, that you have the power and you have the sovereignty and you have the ability to protect your peace. And it's a call to do that, and an empowerment to do that, and to be unapologetic about it. And just like if any energies or people around you it makes anyone uncomfortable, this is a matter of your health, your mental health. So this is something you can't compromise on. So you have to just let other people be uncomfortable, or let things that were priorities sometimes be postponed, or, or other things that you really wanted to get done, but that kind of thing. It's like some things need to be let go of. Some things can be let go of in favor of me honoring and nurturing my mental health. That is really the message. So, okay. So we're going to go ahead and, we will be entering into the infinite prayer. So if you want to be a part of that and receive an energy healing blessing for your path, for your journey, that will be available to you in a link down below. Otherwise, if this resonated for you and you want to receive any of these blessings that came through for you, I probably forgot a lot of them. You can go ahead and comment those down below, and that will help you to claim those blessings, and I will read those and help to affirm them for you and reflect that affirmation back to you as well. Otherwise, you can like or subscribe to my channel. That's really supportive for me. You can check out my Patreon account. You can see what's going on over there and see if it resonates with you. You can leave me a tip / buy me a coffee if you feel inclined to. You can also check out my merchandise. It has this really cute bee logo with flowers that I had made from a lovely artist in Ukraine, who I have a link down below to her Instagram. The merchandise all has the phrase "Hello, lovely human" on it. So it's super cute. I've made it as reasonable as I could. And yeah, if you want to check that out, it's like sweatshirts, tote bags, mugs, notebooks, stuff like that. So that is available to you down below. Also, if you want a private session with me, sometimes I have links available, or like available slots. At the moment I don't, but by the time you watch this, I might. So you can click on that link and see if anything's available. Otherwise, I do have another YouTube channel called Soul Harken. It is my heart and soul in video form if you want to check that out as well. Everything is down below. But yes, thank you so much for being here. I'm so honored by your presence, and so just grateful that, I don't know, I'm just grateful to get to do this. This is fun. So thank you so much, and hope to see you in another reading. Bye. Hello, lovely human. Welcome to Little Flower Tarot, your floral oracle. My name is Krista, and for today's reading, we are asking the question, what blessings await you at your doorstep, and what can you do to open up to receive them? So for this reading, I am offering an infinite prayer, guided visualization, and energy healing session in the structure and format that I offer them in my Patreon. So typically with the infinite prayer sessions, I will do one that's correlated directly to a specific reading, but in my Patreon account, I will do one big reading, and then I will take notes in each reading and write them down along the way. And so when we get into the infinite prayer session, it packs a punch for all 4 readings. So and my intention for those is that all 4 energies that come through, or all 3, however many readings I've done, are present and are available. Like, it's just this deepening into what wants to come through and what came through in the readings. So it's really powerful. It's been really beautiful. I started my Patreon in September, so I just finished up October. So there are 4 in-depth pick a card readings available on there, as well as 2 infinite prayer sessions. And so each month, just so you know, I am offering 2 pick a card readings, one being externally focused, which is more about what you're creating and manifesting and like your life purpose in the world. And the other is internally focused, which is more about your soul's journey, about your healing journey. And along with that internally focused reading is what we do, what am I saying? I'm losing like sense of my words right now. The internally focused reading is where I do the infinite prayer session. Like it's correlated with that reading, of course, because that's the healing reading. So we are getting into your reading right now. The energy is already super potent and powerful. I can already feel it. There is this like rooty, I don't know, I'm just seeing like a tree with roots coming through and this powerful vortex energy coming through, which is blowing my mind right now. It's like a darker kind of energy, but not in a negative way. It's kind of like that root chakra, darker, like it's almost like thinking of roots, right? In the ground, like it's dark in the ground, but the fertility of it is insane. The power of it and the life there is insane, right? So there's that feeling coming through. Holy moly. Okay, so you chose the sugar maple, and the sugar maple, so I didn't write down that much for it. So it's representing, sugar maple is like the Canadian maple, like the big symbolism, you know, the Canadian flag. And it is what they make maple syrup out of. And it seemed, from what I read, to symbolize like a strong like habitat. It's like a very powerful, sorry, I'm stumbling over my words. You've got like a really strong, like some of these powerfuls coming through. So I don't even know. It's just like ultimately it was symbolizing habitat, home. There was a sweetness, of course, with maple syrup. But yeah, just this feeling of home and habitat was coming through. And I am doing. I'm gonna take a deep breath. 1 second. Just. Okay, it's still intense, but it's a little better. I'm going to try to focus a little better here. But I am going to do a channeled message from the leaf, from the sugar maple leaf. Typically, I do channeled messages from flowers. Like typically flowers would be what you would choose. But since it's so beautiful out right now, I decided to go ahead and get some color from outside, from the leaves in the fall, in the trees. And yeah, so let's channel this message from your sugar maple leaf. You are weird, and that is powerful. You have a uniqueness to you. There's a power in like how do I put it? Like the gruntiness or the like, juiciness, the flowiness, the gnarliness of being human. Like there's this rude, it's like I'm imagining someone like at ecstatic dance and like really getting down into their body and like flowing and being connected to just like the earth and their body and their root chakra and like the weirdness of that, the absurdity of being human, like the strangeness of being human, like the holiness of that strangeness is coming through. And like the flow of it and like how, you know, it's like giving me the vibe of like we talked about, like in the dirt with the roots and like all of the like bugs and the worms and everything that's in the earth to make it fertile. But like a lot of people would like see that as gross or, you know, like squeal at the sight of it, or the feeling of it. But you don't. Like there's this feeling of I'm connected to that part of me, that fecund earth, soil, like, yeah, like human part of me, and I feel good in it. I feel rooted in it. I feel more solid because I'm connected to it. So, yeah, that's the vibe here. And it's so funny because like a sugar maple, the name of it is like, that's not what I expect. But it is a reddish color. So root and like orangey, like root and sacral color. And the maple leaf of Canada is red. So that's interesting. Canada could be significant to some of you, some sort of little confirmation there. But I'm going to put this leaf right up here, and I pulled an oracle card from the Oracle of the Hidden Worlds, and this is going to be an overarching theme for you. And you got And I want to say this is actually really weird because not all of these cards are horizontal, and every single reading today are horizontal. Like, let me show you. Oh, wait, well, am I wrong? Oh, they are horizontal. Oh my God, I was trying to be all like, oh my God, it's so crazy. Most of them are horizontal, and the ones that are upright are the different ones. Never mind. I thought, or maybe it's just equal. Yeah, it might be equal. Because, anyway, they're all horizontal so far. Maybe that's like, don't listen to me. Okay, so you got healing the earth, love, humility, respect with number 20. So it makes sense, healing the earth, that fecund energy that we were picking up on, that fertility, that earth, soil, the worms, the like, yeah, like maybe there's like a healing of your root chakra. That's a blessing for you. A deeper connection to your body, a deeper connection to nature and the earth, Pachamama, like this feeling of being in your body and like being with the weirdness of being in a body and being on the earth, like being with the weirdness of the earth, you know, like the earth is weird. There are a lot of weird emanations of the earth, like weird plants, weird bugs, weird animals, like weird behaviors of animals. Like the earth is weird and we're weird, and that's natural, and that's really coming through strongly. So there could also be a blessing of like a deeper acceptance and awareness of this weirdness, and just like letting go and just letting it be, and just finally like surrendering to who you really are and not giving a damn what anybody thinks about that. As we're going, if you want to like get a notebook and journal and like claim any blessings that come through, because sometimes it's like random ones that'll come through, that might be beneficial to you. And then, or even if you want to comment it down below, I will reflect that back to you and help claim that for you. And I'm sure other people will too. So if there's any blessings in here you want to claim, go ahead and comment down below. And I would love it if other people were like liking those, just because, well, obviously it will help with my algorithm. I will not beat around the bush there. But more so, it will help us to deepen into these blessings. So yeah. All right. So what does group number 3, what blessings await group number 3, and how can they open up to receive them? Yeah, okay. Man, that was so crazy how I could not think straight early just a minute ago. The energy that came through was so overpowering. Okay. Here we go. Oh, these are tarot. I'm not shuffling. See, I don't know what's going on. I feel like a rearrangement wants to happen in your being, like a mental rearrangement almost, or like a deepening into the body and the instinct, as opposed to like the mental faculties. Like just that kind of wants to happen. So like the mental might feel foggy temporarily, just because you're kind of like reorienting yourself and reorienting your true north, your connection to your, like listening to your body more as opposed to your mind, like that kind of thing. So, okay, yeah, I'm gonna actually pull oracle cards from the Earth Magic Oracle deck. Now we're on track. Yeah, Earth Magic. That's so very fitting for you. Okay. This feels better. Okay, so you got, yes, this is you. Dream time with creation. So here we go. Like, look at that. Look at that weirdness. Look at that guy. Just didgeridooing stuff, like whatever he wants into creation. Like he's being himself, and he's connected to the cosmos. He's connected to the earth, and he's just like, wah, wah, wah. Like this is it. Like just creating a new world into being just by literally being yourself, and like the weirdness of who you are. Like bringing vibrancy into the world, bringing life into the world. And then you got full moon with completion. I like that. That's cool. 2 more. Mountain with strength. I love that for this. That is very grounding for this energy is needed and necessary. And then a spring equinox with rebirth. And this feels very like Mother Nature-y as well. So we'll keep digging and see what else comes through. Now we will get into the tarot. Little buggy. See, aw, see, you know what? There was a little bug and I blew it away because I was like, get out of here, little bug. And it was it's like, you know what? I should just let the bug stay. Like, it's just a bug. It's not the end of the world. I'm wondering like what you guys see. Oh my God, maybe there's something you're releasing around judgment of like your humanity. Cause like, I was just thinking like, oh, I hope I'm not being judged for, cause there are a lot of bugs in here right now. Like there are these little gnats and then there are these beetles and then sometimes there are stink bugs. And it's because my window is not like fully secured and it's open and the weather is crazily warm for what time of year it is. And there are just bugs and they're getting in and, and I was like thinking, oh, I hope I'm not being judged for that. And then it's like, who cares? This is what life is on Earth, you know, like, I don't know. Okay. 10 of Cups. Yes. Oh my God. 10 of Cups. I'm so excited for you. So the 10 of Cups is about like complete emotional fulfillment. And it is giving me this like without in context to what we've seen so far. It's this feeling of like your 10 of Cups being something that makes you like being in an environment or around people that feel like home, that feel like family, and that like you feel safe and free enough to be your full like unhinged weirdo self. Like that's the feeling. So that's a blessing that wants to come through for you. An environment like that, a person like that, or people like that, a family that makes you feel like that, like a community that makes you feel like that. So definitely something to claim. 7 of Pentacles. I love that too. That's about like reaping harvest. Reaping rewards from your labor, from your work, from your intention. Whoa, and the world. Holy moly. And then you got full moon with completion. Those are very similar energies. Okay, we'll get into it. We'll see what else. 7 of Swords. Okay, you've got 2 7s. 7 is a number of the divine. Ace of Cups. I love Ace of Cups. And the Tower. Okay. Okay, what do we have here? Okay, so a very strong feeling with the world and the 10 of Cups and the full moon with completion. There is this feeling of like complete fulfillment. There is a fulfillment of a long-awaited dream or goal. And whatever's popping into your mind right now will probably be what it is, the first thing that comes to your mind, but a completion of it, like full reception of it in your life, full fulfillment of it in your life, like everything and more, everything you dreamed it would be and more coming to pass. And it could be, the interesting thing is this could be it could be 2 things. It could be a relational situation that has to do with a partnership, that has to do with community life. And then it also could be with the 7 of Pentacles, a material thing, like a purposeful thing in your life. Like it feels material in a way, or like monetary. So whatever is coming to your mind, I want you to claim that in your mind right now. The complete and utter fulfillment of it in every way possible, like the best case scenario of that situation or those situations coming true for you. There's such a strength in this reading coming through. There's an inevitability. Like, I am so connected to my humanity. I am connected to who I am, my purpose. I am connected to the thread of life that exists within me. I'm connected to my intuition and my internal guidance, my instincts, and I'm following that moving forward, and I can't lose. But for some reason, as I was speaking, we've got this 7 of Swords here, and then we've got this kind of like this woman peeking her head out of the bushes, kind of like suspicious like, or like, I don't know. It was kind of this feeling of like something kind of coming out of nowhere to, the energy itself was more like this feeling of like, and I don't want to be like gloomy doomy at all. Like, it might just be something to be aware of, but it's this feeling of there might be something that's like an invasive weed that is a part of like the landscape of your being that it's pretty obvious. It feels obvious the way it came through. It was like, whoa, what's that? So it felt like getting ahead of this, tending to something. Okay. It feels like tending to something to pull those roots out. Like an invasive weed is kind of like something that you have to over time, like you pull out all the roots and then maybe a little bit comes back. And so you have to just be aware of it and be conscious of it and tend to it. Otherwise, if you don't pay attention at all to it, then it is going to overtake you and overtake the ecosystem that you're existing within and kind of like choke out like healthy plants, native plants kind of thing. So this could be representative of many different things. So it could be something like a health thing. Like say you're living life and you're living your dreams or you're being fully yourself, but you have a vice that isn't good for your body. Or it's like something that you do regularly that's getting in the way of like a more fulfilling life or a more flowing life, or it's like getting in the way of something kind of. And it's like this feeling of if you don't let it go, or if you don't release it, or if you don't pull out the roots of that, it's going to grow bigger and it's going to affect different areas of life. So there's just an awareness there. There really is. There's this feeling of be aware of what might be like choking out like the true connection to your life, and like what parts of your life or habits, or maybe even sometimes people, you know, like sometimes there are people in your life that are just 444 as I look up at the camera that are just not resonant anymore, or there's someone that need to turn from a friend to an acquaintance kind of thing. Like there needs to be distance put between you and this energy. And it's just, there's just a little warning there, just to be careful, be aware of that, and do what you need to do to establish your boundaries so you can protect this beautiful ecosystem of who you are and where you're going. Yeah, so that would be part of like, what do you need to do to receive your blessings? Well, let's kind of pay attention to that, you know? So whatever came up for you around that, again, like a health thing, a person, just an energy, self-sabotaging mentality, you know, that kind of thing, something that's just getting in the way. Yeah. So, and then the tower. I'm curious what the tower is going on here. There's very much this feeling of where you think you're going and what you think your life is going to look like is not going to look the way you think it is. And that's not meant to be any type of like ominous or anything. It's just like an awareness of you can envision your life and where you want to go and what you want to do as much as, I mean, it's beautiful to do that. But there's this encouragement to tap more into the essence of the vision as opposed to like how it will look in the physical world or how it will be embodied in the physical world. There's this feeling of letting your expectations crumble and die off and just being more connected to the journey, being more connected to the present moment, and trusting that the divine works in mysterious ways and is going to bring the people, like take you to the places, bring the resources in miraculous ways that you can't even fathom. Like there are so many amazing, beautiful ways in which the divine can work in your life. And there is this feeling of you've got like a system and structure in your mental understanding of how things can come into your life. And there's just like this obliteration that wants to happen of that. Like, let it all go. Open up to miracles. Open up to freedom. Open up to like just new avenues. Like just start like imagining crazy ways in which things might come to you, and like don't be attached to any of them, but just imagine, be like, whoa, that'd be crazy if that would happen. Like, you know, just be open. There is this feeling of being open to the blessings. Like yeah, just getting yourself out of the box of like, oh, money can only come in this way, or like I can only meet people that resonate if I go to this type of place. Like, what if you meet someone like when you just like went to some random place that you just go to every day and you just happen to run into someone who becomes like a soulmate, like that kind of thing. It's like it can happen any moment, at any time, through any means, through any location. Like it's like blessings like are all around you, and you're just like, it's almost like this feeling of like, I don't see it, or I don't understand how they could come in, but it's like, well, they're already all around you. So all you got to do is open up and like be more like open-minded to how things want to come through other people everywhere to you. So yeah, there's definitely that kind of message coming through. I'm going to pull some cards from the Wild Unknown Tarot and see what else wants to come through in this reading. All right, what else? Any more blessings for group number 3? Any more messages for group number 3 about receiving these blessings? Okay, so oh, not yet. There we go. Okay. Aw, Page of Cups. There's a lightheartedness to your energy, and that's really shown through from the very beginning of this reading. Like, there's just such a funniness and like a goofiness, a lightheartedness, a connection to that like free-flowing, like colorful part of you that just like never will go away. Like, don't let it ever go away. Like, this is a part of you and you're so welcome in the world and your weirdness. Yeah, like 3 of Cups, like you're so welcome and celebrated for who you are, and like don't stop being yourself. Like, you're so loved and seen, and like you're so welcome. You're so welcome here in your color. Okay, 2 of Swords. Interesting. We got a little message there. King of Cups. And one more. Oh, 2 more apparently. The 9 of Pentacles. I love that. And then the Magician. We will put like the Magician right here. And then the 2 of Swords underneath there. Okay. So beautiful energy here. There's this feeling of being like completely fulfilled with your life. Completely satiated in the material realm. Feeling like whatever luxury means to you, it doesn't have to mean the typical like bougie idea of what luxury means to whoever. It's like whatever luxury, like what is luxurious to you? What makes you feel like you have everything you need in this world and you can like die tomorrow because like, you know, like what makes you feel like all of your needs and desires are satiated, like that kind of feeling, like uniquely to you. And like this emotional fulfillment, this like grounded emotional fulfillment. It feels like your energy is very material as well. It's almost like, and especially with the Magician, like having all the elements at your disposal to create the life you want. It's very like materially oriented. Like, so this could be like earth element, like earth sign type of people. Yeah, very like grounded. I'm wondering what the 2 of Swords is though. I feel like there's a quick message here at the end of this reading that is coming through. Like an inner confliction. 2 of Swords is about inner confliction. So what is that about? I need a couple of, maybe I'll pull some of these Faceted Garden oracles. I haven't pulled these for any of the other groups, but we'll see. Maybe this will help me out. Like, what is this inner confliction? Because, like, this is all just beautiful. Like, you're welcomed, you're loved, you're celebrated. Like, this material, like, satiation, like, feeling good in your body and in your material world and knowing you can create whatever reality suits you best. What is this 2 of Swords here, then? We've got Thaw. Oh, was that you? Maybe not. In one of the channeled messages from one of the leaves, there was something about like thawing the ice around, like the coldness around, but that could have been in group 2. Okay, so Herbal Allies and Thaw and Ram. Ram could be Taurus. That's an earth sign. So that could be a confirmation. This does feel very Taurus-y, this energy. 2 of Swords. Ram could be something about stubbornness. I mean, it could be, I mean, we just said that already, though. I feel like this is a new message. I was going to say, like, a stubbornness around, like, how you believe things will come in, but this is a new message, so I'm trying to. Is there, like, a questioning around what you're creating in the world? Maybe. Like, with the ram, it almost feels like this, like, ramming into something and trying to create something and being, like, determined in it. And like butting your head against a wall, like trying to make it happen. And then like a questioning of like, maybe it's not meant for me. I feel like I'm just like pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing. I still don't know. It's not hitting yet. There's all this beautiful energy here. And then there's this confliction. I think there's something about like feeling uncomfortable with receiving help. Like I want to do this on my own. I want to create this on my own. And I don't want to like, yeah, like a stubbornness and wanting to do everything on your own. And there is this feeling of moving forward. There's like a nudge to let go of that stubbornness. And like with herbal allies, there is very much this feeling of supportive energy that wants to come through to you. And it could be like emotional support. We've got this like Father of Cups, King of Cups energy. Like it could be this like supportive tenderness that wants to come through and like help you along your journey. Like even if you don't accept material support, like accepting of like emotional encouragement and support from others around you, like thawing the ice around that sense of receptivity and thawing the ice around your heart or how you think this is supposed to look. This journey, like it's not black and white, and it is a journey, and it is connecting to the present moment. And connecting to your worthiness of like, yeah, emotional support along the way. It feels like that's what needs to happen, like opening up to support from others. And that could be material as well. There could be material support available to you as well that you're being stubborn about. That's like a key in helping you move you to the next phase. And like you'll like, once you're in the next phase, you'll be able to pay that back like tenfold, you know, like, but just letting it in, letting a little bit in to help you along the way. Like you don't have to do this alone. It really feels like that. Yeah. All right. Is there anything else that wants to come through? For some reason, I want to pull one more of these just right on top. Yay! Dawn, new beginnings. Yeah, I think there's just so much beautiful, lovely energy coming for you. And it's because of who you are, because of your color, because of your weirdness, because of just you being you. Like you're entering into just a new beauty and a new way of being. And I don't know, it just feels amazing. Like whatever you're creating, keep going, because the world needs more of what you have to give. It's colorful and it's bright and it's unique and it's inspiring, and just keep being yourself. The world needs you in your true essence. So keep doing that. And be unapologetic about it. Stay playful, stay light. Everyone loves you for who you are. And yeah, just keep going. There's good things are coming. So that's your final message. Alrighty. So we're going to go ahead and get into the infinite prayer session now. So if you feel called to go into that, definitely feel free to meet the rest of us there. But otherwise, if you want to claim any of these blessings in this reading, go ahead and comment them down below. And also, if you want to like or subscribe to my channel, that's really supportive for me. If you want to leave me a tip, you can do that. It's called Buy Me a Coffee. There's a link down below. You can check out my Patreon account, of course. I also have merchandise that's really cute with my bee and flowers logo. I'll show you right here. It's made by this artist in Ukraine, this lovely artist that I found online. I have a link down below to her Instagram. All of the merchandise has the phrase "Hello, lovely human" on it. So sweatshirts, tote bags, stuff like that. Also, if you'd like a private session with me or a pre-recorded session from me that is private and specifically for you, you can check out down below to see if I have any available. At the moment when I'm posting this, I don't, but sometimes I do open it up. So it just kind of like, you never know. So check if you are interested, you can check down below. Otherwise, you can check out my other YouTube channel. It's called Soul Harken. It is my heart and soul in video form. And yeah, there's a link down below to that as well. But yes, thank you so much for being here. I'm honored by your presence and just so grateful to be able to channel these messages for you. So yeah, thank you so much. Bye. Hello, my lovely human. Welcome to Little Flower Tarot, your floral oracle. My name is Krista, and for today's reading, we are asking the question, what blessings are awaiting you at your doorstep, and how can you open yourself up to receive them? So for this reading, I am also offering an infinite prayer, guided visualization, and Reiki transmission. And I'm doing this in the format that I've been doing my infinite prayer sessions on my Patreon account. So what that means is that I am doing all of the readings up front. And as I'm doing the reading, I'm taking notes on the side to help to guide me into the energies and the space and the frequencies that want to come through for everyone who's watched a reading, everyone who's resonated with the reading. And in doing so, it packs such a powerful punch and it harmonizes beautifully. And it is a way to help align you with the energies that are necessary, and in this case, to receive these blessings that want to come in. So if you're interested in that, there will be a link down below for the infinite prayer, the collective infinite prayer session. Otherwise, we're going to go ahead and get into this reading. So, I also want to mention before we get started about my Patreon. So on my Patreon, I'm offering 2 in-depth pick a card tarot readings per month, one being more internally focused, which is what you're creating in the world, or no, I'm sorry. One being more externally focused, which is what you're creating in the world, what you're manifesting, what you're building, your life's purpose. And then the other one is more internally focused, and that is your soul journey. That's your healing journey. That's your mental, spiritual, physical health. Like it's more about you and you as a sovereign soul being, and what that journey looks like. And then the infinite prayer session every month is correlated with that internally focused reading. So those are the bare minimums I'm offering in that Patreon space. And then when I have the energy and the inspiration to offer more or bring in anything else that I feel called to bring in, I will. But we're 2 months in there, and if you are curious, you can check it out and see what's going on in there. It kind of gives you a little preview, and then if you decide to commit, you can. But yeah, it's there if you want to check it out. But otherwise, we're going to go ahead and get into this reading. So for these readings, I have picked fall flowers as my little prompters here instead of flowers. Usually I have flowers. And for this one, I picked a little sprig from a burning bush. And so the burning bush there's a story in the Bible about the burning bush, and maybe I should have done a little bit more research about that. But overall, the burning bush represents God's presence and like purification through fire. In the Bible story, I'm pretty sure, like it also reminds me of like a phoenix coming up from the ashes. So it's this feeling of being purified in like God's light that's so blinding and so amazing and so purifying, and being fortified and like proven like true in a way. Like it's this feeling of, again, like that phoenix rising from the ashes, like everything that's not who you are, or everything that's not meant to be there, just being completely purified. And like, as you can imagine, that purification process would be quite painful or quite intense or confusing and overwhelming. But once it's over and the truest version of you has like proven itself true and is available and free and, flying, like it's this feeling of, yes, fortification through fire. So also in miracles, like it is a miracle in the Bible story, like the the bush was on fire and there was a message that came through the bush. And whenever the fire went away, the bush was still standing. So it kind of just gives this purifying miracle energy of God, of the universe, right? Whatever word resonates with you. But yeah, so we're going to go ahead and get into it here. Oh, I got to do a channeled message from the burning bush. I did channeled messages for the other ones, so I want to do one for you too. So, all right, burning bush, what do you have to say? That's so like crazy to think, like, ooh, burning bush, what do you have to say to group number 4? It's just funny because the burning bush is such a powerful like symbol of like divine messaging. So definitely curious to see what the burning bush has to say here. So there is purpose to your life greater than you can know. But to live this purpose, to live your greatness, you must live simply. You must live humbly. You must live in your human form. You must walk the earth knowing that your life is temporary and that you're subject to forces bigger than yourself. In doing this, you'll be able to live more purposefully than you ever could if you were in your ego or if you were overly confident about what you were doing. In this humility, walking in simple hope, this is going to bring you into a more fulfilled experience of your life, while also, in the grander scheme of things, a more purposeful life. So, all right, that's your message. That's lovely. I like that. It's this feeling of like, it almost feels like a relief, really. It's like if there are a lot of dreams and goals and like missions that you want to accomplish in your life, like a difference that you want to make, it's kind of giving you permission to just be human in all of it and just take your steps humbly and just live your life and just be connected to the day-to-day, like the little mundane moments, and just be there and just trust your footsteps and know that what you're doing is purposeful and is impactful and powerful, and like you don't have to see that. It's like this feeling of you don't have to know, like people who plant forests and they don't, what's that phrase? Like planting a tree that will cast shade for people, for those who have who are after you. Like, it's like you don't really know, and you won't ever fully witness what your work or your intention has done on this earth. But you're okay with that. It's like this beautiful, humble experience of life, but also purposeful. So, and more purposeful because of that humility. I love that. Okay, so you got number 42. This is really beautiful. I don't think I've ever seen this card. With Tree of Souls. 42 could be a lucky number or like a lucky age for you, so keep that in mind. It's giving like so much like purpose, like in the number of 42 for some reason. But yeah, collective wisdom, kinship group, and library. That's interesting. I like that there's like this pink pool of water around. It's like a protective water around like some sort of wisdom like that's being held here. And it feels like it's from the divine, like with this tree that comes up, this lit up, this like white light tree. There is a pink lake somewhere on the earth. I can't remember where it is. But you could look that up. Like, I know there's a place that has pink water, and maybe that would be a cool place to visit or just to tap into the healing frequencies of that place. Yeah, I can't remember what it is. Actually, you know what? I'm going to look it up for you. I'll skip to it. I'm going to see what it is. Okay. So the Great Salt Lake in Utah has a pink color in some areas due to the presence of salt-loving microorganisms or halophiles and algae. The northeastern shore of the lake has the highest concentration, so it has the most vibrant pink waters. Okay, so Stansbury Island. The high salinity of the water on this island supports only 2 types of organisms, bacteria and algae. So Interesting. So there is an island on the lake, I guess. And that's very similar to this energy. So if you have the means to do so, maybe one day you'll find yourself here at this pink lake. And there's just an awareness around that, the Great Salt Lake. And it says, wear water shoes. The salt crystals in the water can make it painful to walk barefoot. This is interesting. Change clothes. The salt can dry and harden and hurt your skin. Pack a picnic. The closest gas station or restaurant is about an hour away. Wow. That would be such a cool place to go. Oh, there's some pictures on here too. Cool. Okay, yeah. So just keep that in mind. That place in mind, or even just energetically tapping into the healing power of it. There's something there. Something very like purifying and good there. So, and some wisdom to be held there. Awesome. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pick a couple of Earth Magic Oracle cards for some context here. So far, like the blessing that wants to come to you is like simplicity. Like a breath of fresh air. It feels like just humility, just being like just okay with the present moment, being, I know that sounds anticlimactic, but for some people, you know, that's that's all they want. You know, if someone who has anxiety or someone who has fear or worry, or who's overwhelmed or burdened, you know, a feeling of just being okay and being like in the simplicity of that and just breathing in that, like it could be such a relief for some. Also, if you have like big ideals, big dreams, big things you're working towards, sometimes just living in like the mundanity of your life is just like a breath of fresh air, just like watching a TV show or like just getting away from it all. Yeah. So, you got compassion, love with compassion. And the energy of this card is like really similar to this, like the colors, the pink hue and the green, like it's very heart chakra. So, it's like this feeling of tapping into your heart, tapping into your breath, letting go, being connected to your humanity and the love that exists within you, your intentions, your truest purpose. Yeah, just like a heartfelt connection to life. That's a blessing that wants to come through. And then eagle with communion. So that reminds me of the burning bush, like the presence of God. It's this feeling of communion with something greater, but also like feeling like connected in such a simple way. Like, you know, for instance, like taking a walk in the morning and seeing like a grasshopper on the ground and feeling, you know, like one with the grasshopper and like just feeling so like at peace with nature and in harmony with nature. Like this simple, like oneness wants to come through. And then you got new moon with promise and clouds with shape shifting. All right. All right, let's see what else we have. Let's pull some tarot. Yeah, like with the new moon, with the promise, it's like even in your yearning, like even in a desire, like having desires that are unmet, or yearnings that are unmet, there's this feeling of resting in the promise of those things that are yet to come for you and finding peace and fulfillment in that promise and knowing that it's meant for you and in connecting to that promise, like feeling like you're almost already there and like this is enough. This is enough. Being in this promise is enough. I'm okay with that. A settledness wants to come through for you. This is really nice. Like I feel calmer in this energy. I just feel like anything, like whatever happens, I'm going to be okay. I'm going to be okay. So peace, justice. I love that. Like balance. Everything working out in your favor. Four of Pentacles. Okay. The Hanged Man. Death. The Elder of Air or the King of Air. And then the High Priestess. Okay. And on the bottom of the deck, you have the sun. I'm just going to keep it over here to the side, and I'll bring that in if I feel called to. Guys, I'm at the end of filming 2 readings. So I filmed my Patreon reading earlier and the infinite prayer session. And now I'm filming this one. So I'm at the end of it, and like, I'm so grateful for this calm energy. This is probably by design that it was meant to come through like this, because the energies before were like more intense. So I'm really just grateful and honored to be in the presence of the blessings that want to come through for you, which very much just feels like inner peace, ultimately, acceptance, love, compassion. Yeah, just this feeling of connectedness, oneness. I love that. It's a feeling of like, no matter what's happening, I'm okay. I'm okay that this hasn't been met yet. I'm okay that this problem's still lingering there. I'm okay. I'm gonna be okay. I love that. I love that feeling. Yeah, with King of Swords, it is like a kind of a detached feeling. And I like that there are a bunch of crows on this card, because crows to me symbolize protection and intelligence, and like just being able to trust in the intelligence of divine law, of the universe. Yeah, there's just of love in general, of peace in general, the right to peace. Yeah. And you have actually 4 of your 6 cards are major arcana. So I definitely want to mention that, because this is something like a big shift that wants to occur for you, a major transition. And it is how you are relating to your life. There's just so much acceptance that wants to come in, and trust in knowing that everything is as it should be and will always be as it should be. And yeah, there's like this inherent, strong, powerful, again, sorry, I feel like I'm repeating myself, but sense of oneness and knowing, even in death, I've been staring at this card here, even in death, everything's going to be okay. And the process of death is natural, and just, yeah, deep acceptance. I want to go ahead and pull some more tarot cards as well. Yeah, and with the Hanged Man, I love this interpretation. It's like, you know what? Like, life may be throwing me like some doozies, right? And it's this, like, this person is hanging upside down, and this dragon that is like a seemingly dark dragon is carrying me into a new phase. And it feels like, it felt scary at first maybe, but then it's like this person, I want to show you this card. It's like this person just finally surrendered, and once they did so, they started seeing the beauty in the transition and in the journey, and the love that's there, the wholeness that's available to them, and they just are letting the journey take them. It's like a natural acceptance of the process that they're being walked through. Even though it may feel intense or overwhelming, it's just like, I surrender, I let go, I trust. Yeah, with the 4 of Pentacles here, this might have come on the back of like a clinging to something, a clinging to an old way, a clinging to something like the past, like ways of the past. Yeah, there might be this feeling of finally letting go of that resistance and that clinging to what wants to happen. And there's just, yeah, this strong acceptance and intuition and knowing that you are exactly where you're meant to be, and you're being guided to exactly where you're meant to be. So everything is in order with the Justice card. Everything is balanced. You are protected. And with this Justice card, she's got her eyes blocked off, and it's like, you don't have to see where you're going. Just trust. I've got this. Okay, I'm going to pull some cards from the Wild Unknown Tarot. 1919, as I looked up at the timer. 19 is the number of, why am I blanking on this? 18 is the moon. 19 is the sun. Yeah, that's awesome. The sun over here, remember it's on the bottom of the deck. So the sun, the sun is significant. So I'm going to bring it right out here. The sun is about, and especially this one, I mean, look at this. It's like there's all this darkness under here, and then there's this beautiful like dark angel like casting this light down into the woods, into the darkness here, and shining the truth on like the needed truth, like what you need to hear and see in the middle of all this. But also the sun is about joy, and it's about love, and it's about, like, I want to say like hope in a way. Okay, I mixed these cards up quite a bit, so let's see what, okay. The Empress. All right. The Seven of Pentacles. The Tower. And the Ace of Pentacles. So there's definitely a lot going on, it feels like, for this group. Like there could be literal death, you know, that you're processing, or there could just be like the death of a relationship, or like death can come in many forms, like the death of an old identity, the death of a connection to someone in your family, or not necessarily, but like the death of that connection, that relationship, or that way of relating to that person. It's like this death of an old way of relating to someone is really strongly coming through, and like new energies emerging, new awareness of parts of their identities that they never knew were there. There's this feeling of like and having acceptance around that, like, because maybe like just like I'm getting this feeling of like old identities that were never really who you were, like being shed and being let go, and you finally just being your like humble, authentic, just real self, like real human self, like exactly as you are. And like other people having to adjust to that. And that could be you, or that could be someone in your life that you have to adjust to. That kind of energy. It's like there's a new way of connecting that wants to come through. And it feels very positive. It just feels like there might be some like learning curves or disappointments or sadness or mourning in a way that needs to happen. And like, that's just part of the transition of it all. And there overarchingly is this beautiful sense of hope and acceptance all around it, and like knowing it's going to be okay. And what's coming is this peace and this oneness and this understanding, and this beauty and light and full soul expression, like that's coming through. And I love that next to the Empress, because the Empress is about like embodying all of who you are. The Empress is a very like feminine, nurturing, motherly energy, and like there's this feeling of like a mother's acceptance, like I accept and love you no matter what. That's available to you, like that energy is available to you, whether that be in the form of Mother Nature or in the form of a person in your life. There's this feeling of like, I accept you no matter what state you're in. I accept you no matter who you are. Like I accept you, like you can come to me no matter what. I love you unconditionally for who you are, and I will always be a home for you. There's that feeling. And then let's see, with the Seven of Pentacles, I'm curious what that is. There is this like upward, like slow and steady trajectory kind of energy, like especially with this card. And Seven of Pentacles is usually about like reaping rewards from your labor. There's always a lot of like symbolism of like picking a fruit off a tree and eating it, you know, like this cycle has come to a completion, like all the work and tending I've done has been worth it, and now I'm I'm receiving something from that. So there's that energy present too. I might get back to that. And like the Ace of Pentacles. Okay, let me see. And we also have the King of Pentacles here. And the Seven of Wands right next to the Seven of Pentacles. So 2 sevens. Okay, what do we have? So while I'm letting this marinate, I'm going to write down, so for group 4, for the infinite prayer session. So I want to help deepen you into this oneness, acceptance, trust, and letting go. Like letting go, going with the flow. I want to deepen you into that energy, because moving forward, and like, yeah, that humility. I'm going to write that down too. Humility. Like the humanness that you are, and like breathing within that, and just like taking a breath within that, and the simplicity of that, and just being okay. 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 So I feel like you're being very protected right now. With the Seven of Wands, I'm feeling like a guarding happening around you, and it might not even necessarily be like of your own doing. It could be like you could be participating in this protection, but it kind of is giving me this feeling of like 7 spirit guides all like surrounding you and protecting your peace, protecting your light, protecting your like protecting your stability, your inner security, especially with the King of Pentacles here. There is this feeling of you have all the resources you need, and like then I'm also imagining like other people coming in to help support you as well through this. So there's a lot of support coming in the form of like physical blessings, like through other people or in the like resources in the world. Like there's so much like physical like, yeah, support. That's like the part of the blessings that want to come in for you. And then not only that, but spiritual protection, spiritual guard, like a guarding of your soul, a guarding of your being, like that's happening for you that you might not even realize is happening for you right now. But it's there. It's definitely there. And there are, again, open yourself up to ways in which resources want to come to you, and don't be afraid to ask for help. And when you feel called to, like there might be instances where you feel like a little internal nudge to ask for help from someone or to ask about something, like, and like, don't hesitate, like just ask. Like it's that kind of feeling. Just calmly ask, and it might like be a breadcrumb towards something that you need moving on your journey. So again, like especially with the Ace of Pentacles and the King of Pentacles here, it's just like, and the Empress, like you are so insanely supported. Like it's got this beautiful like feminine energy and masculine energy like coming together to support and protect and honor you, to provide for you. Like you have everything you need, and I want you to know that. And I want you to, again, just not be afraid to open up to it and receive it, because that's what life is all about. Like with the Justice card, it's like, you know, sometimes we're meant to give and sometimes we're meant to receive. And sometimes what we need is just to receive. Sometimes we're going through things where we don't, like our plate is like, we don't have anything in our well. Like we don't have anything to give, you know, like we're depleted, and what we need is to be given to. So that is the balance of life and the balance of nature. And there's really no giving without receiving. So there is just this strong message of opening up to receive and letting it in, because you deserve it. And not only do you deserve it, but you need it right now. And that this is just this is the balance of nature and how it works. You need it. Like it's reminding me of like how they say like trees work together. Like if one tree is not getting enough sun, like or not getting enough nutrients, like the root systems from other trees will like provide nutrients to that tree. Like that's just how nature is. So it is really just this feeling of tapping into that receptive energy and knowing that's what, it's not even like you deserve this. It's just, this is how it is. This is what's meant to be right now. I need help, so I'm getting the help I need. This is how nature works. And you can rest in gratitude in that space. If that helps you, if gratitude helps you, you can, rest in that and use gratitude to help you feel more like, if it's like a harder thing to receive for you, you can use gratitude to help you receive. But yeah, you are getting everything you need, and you, to help you right now, and just don't worry about it. Like it's fine. Like you're a giver and it's time to receive. So yeah. Okay. So what other oracle cards? I think I'm going to pull some of these Faceted Garden and get like a final little message. And then we will move into the Infinite Prayer session, which I'm so grateful you're here, because this energy like is just like the perfect little completion for all 4 groups. Like I really feel this like groundedness, this respect and this honor and this like humility. I love this energy so much, and I'm really grateful that it's going to be present in the healing session. So let's pull a few more cards and we will. Okay, so you have Flame. Kind of is reminding me of the 7 of. Okay, yeah, 7 of Wands. Let's see what else. Herbal allies, which I think makes a lot of sense. I just think you've got so much people who want to support you, love all around you, like available to you. You just have to open up to it, sniff it out a little bit. And then one more. And then the Ram. That's interesting. And then on the bottom we have Entwined. Okay, what is this final little message here? Let's see. With Entwined here, there are like 2 snakes on the card that are all entwined with each other. There is this feeling of the more you nurture yourself, the more you're nurturing those who are closest to you. So the more you let love in, the more you let resources in, the more you let support in, the more you're able to support. It's like a direct reflection of like your loved ones and those you wish to support. So let it in, because it like feeds into the world around you in such a nurturing way. And it's like a necessary part of this part of your path. With Flame and Ram, I like this Flame card a lot. Like it's giving me like true north. There's a compass right here as well. There is this feeling of true north, connecting to your true north, connecting to what matters the most, and like letting the rest like fall away, especially with Ram being next to the 7 of Wands. It's like letting the rest fall away and protecting what matters the most to you at this point. Like it's like you only have so much energy to give. And it's like this feeling of, I'm going to put my energy into the places that are most important, and the rest I'm protecting. Like I'm letting go, and I'm being like fiercely protective over my time, over my energy, over my space, and unapologetic about it. So yeah, just keep moving forward. Trust that you'll have everything you need. Let the blessings come in, the blessing of support and resources come in. And like emotional support as well, like acceptance, love, like that nurturing motherly energy that wanted to come through too. Let all of that come in, and keep walking your path, and you've got this, and everything's going to be just fine. So, all right. So awesome. This was your reading. If you want to claim some of these, you can go ahead and comment down below, and I will be reading the comments and helping to reflect back like that claiming of these blessings, and I'm sure other people will as well if they see it as well. So if you are interested in doing the Infinite Prayer session, there will be a link down below for that. Otherwise, if you want to support me, the easiest way is to like this video or subscribe to my channel. You could also leave me a tip / buy me a coffee. There's a link down below. I also have my Patreon account, of course, if you want to check that out. There's a link for that, and you can kind of see previews of some of the readings I've already posted and see if you feel called to that. I have merchandise. It's really cute. It has my Bee and Flowers logo. Just here it is right here. And then all of the merchandise have the phrase "Hello, lovely human" on it. So if that sounds cute to you, you can check that out. And then sometimes I offer private sessions, like pre-recorded or in person. It just depends on the time of the year and just how I'm feeling if I open up slots for that. So you can check if you are interested to see if any are open. And you can check periodically. Sometimes I'll open them up and other times I don't. So yeah, and then I also have another YouTube channel called Soul Harken. It is my heart and soul in video form if you're interested in checking that one out as well. But yeah, otherwise, thank you so much for being here. I pray so many blessings for you and so much peace and acceptance and love and just a deepening into that sense of oneness. And yeah, thank you so much for being here. Bye.